Good evening, everyone. So my name is Rudra Jain, and I am from Rotary Club of Hinduja College. Would love to welcome our speaker for the day, Shibin. To start,
Right.
could you tell us about a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey and about yourself, Shibin?
Well, basically, I come from a family of business. So, my dad's into manufacturing of ready-made garments. So, garments and clothes is literally what I've been grown with. Um, so, to go ahead with that, I ended up doing fashion clothes from NIFT, National Institute of Fashion Technology, Mumbai. I did my fashion design and information technology. From there, I went on to do my master's in sustainable fashion from London College of Fashion, and I got back to India in 2012. Uh, and then just 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, decided to start up my own brand. I think I was ready because I wanted my product to be very niche. I didn't want to enter the rat race where there are 500,000 people making the same shirts. I didn't want to be one of them. So I wanted very different, unique products. Otherwise, I would lose connect with my own work. Hence, yeah, is that good?
So, as we all know, our today's topic is five difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman. So, for
Right.
the starting, I will love to ask you the main difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman, according to you.
Well, that's a tricky question. I feel there are different terminologies. Is because people don't want to be classified under the same old, and the new generations and the young people who are coming in, they want to have their own different niche. They don't want to be part of the bandwagon like हमारे दादा भी वही करते थे, हम भी वही करेंगे. So it's somewhere the differentiation is important because that gets you acknowledgement and that gets or what do you say? It helps you to reach out to similar people and maybe even age, right? So, and I believe that eventually entrepreneurs and businessmen all finally all come into the same category where um, if an entrepreneur doesn't make money, I don't think he can last long with whatever business he's doing, unless he's doing charity, which I don't think would really be considered as a business. But yeah, eventually all entrepreneurs will become businessmen as the numbers increase, the money increases, the sales increase. So yeah. So it would more be like a beginner's venture, you can call an entrepreneur maybe. So you keep on coming up with new stuff, you'll continue to be an entrepreneur, but uh, where do you stop or how do you fund these new ventures? They all need funding, right? So eventually
Yeah.
business is important to make it go ahead,
So,
right?
Shibin, as you are an entrepreneur right now, so what's the meaning? What is the meaning for you of a success?
I believe that success is very subjective. It differs from person to person, right? And success is directly proportional to the responsibilities that you have, that you need to take care of as a person. I don't know, as a son, as an employer towards your employees, as a father to a son, whatever. So success would be very subjective, and yes, um, monetary success is important uh, for less fortunate people, if I'm allowed to say that without sounding rude. Just because if you look at the world's richest man, like I mean, I'm sure Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mr. Ambani, his son, his son can start up ventures every day. But what is success for him? I don't think he needs to get any more successful. You know what I'm saying? So after a point, success becomes a high when it is like a social acknowledgement. Success doesn't always mean monetary. It's like that.
It differs from people to people for
Yes,
them.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So if I have bills to be paid
So,
at the end of the month, for me, success is paying those bills, right?
yeah,
So
right.
it depends. Yeah.
So, according to you, what is the difference between risk for a businessman and an entrepreneur?
Um, I think, see, when entrepreneurs are like more young blood. They have new ideas. They're just waiting to get into the market. And this is my product. This is new. I'm doing something different. But for a businessman, he's a businessman because he was an entrepreneur at one time. He was, or he probably still is, and he's still a businessman. So what I'm trying to say is that businessman would have a very calculated approach where it is less passion driven. If I'm allowed to say that, of course, then there are different kind of people. So what I'm saying doesn't mean it's a stereotype or it's a generic. It's not. This is something that's going to keep changing and keep evolving. So yeah, businessman would definitely calculate his numbers first, see that yeah, if he's getting good numbers in return, yeah, let's go for it. So a risk calculation would be a little bit more higher for a businessman. And for an entrepreneur, what happens is he's new, he's getting there, he's out there, he's ready, he or she, not being gentle. So once you do it, fight, give it your best. So it's quite different.
Okay, so idea of an entrepreneur, every entrepreneur starts with an idea. मतलब वो अपने एक आइडिया को आगे लेके जाना चाहते हैं ताकि ग्रो करें, एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करें सोसाइटी की. तो एक बिजनेसमैन और एक एंटरप्रेन्योर के आइडिया में क्या डिफरेंस हो सकता है?
See, a businessman, like I said, is about numbers. So he doesn't really care. He's not going to give a, you know what I'm saying? Yours Zoom call has a time limit. It's getting over. Right.
Yeah. So
okay, let's speed it up. All right. So what I'm saying is, a businessman would not really care much about new ideas or innovations because what he needs is the money. He needs the numbers to keep changing. He needs to produce and sell it out there. But for entrepreneur, like I said, they're more like visionaries. They want to incorporate changes. They want some change to happen. They want something. They want their products or their things to make a difference. That is one great factor which drives. That's why we still have entrepreneurs and not only businessmen. Because if for a businessman to be successful, either he had to be an entrepreneur himself or he has a team of entrepreneurs who's working under him. So he does a business and he has someone else who's doing the new stuff. I don't know if that makes sense.
So let's move on to the last question. Sure. About the market. What do you think an entrepreneur see about the market and a businessman about the market? How do they look at it? How you look at it, the market?
It's now again, like I said, it differs from person to person, but now I think it's a global situation that needs to be considered because of Corona, the virus. Nobody ever thought, no entrepreneur, no businessman ever thought that this scenario was even a remote possibility of a global virus outbreak. So I think now it is all step by step. Depends on what range, what kind of business you're in. I mean, if you're into the business of hospitality, I think it's going to take a lot of time to recover, right? But then if you're into essential services, forget essential services. If you're running a wine shop, I think you'll make more money than starting a new venture. You know what I'm saying? So market scenario as of right now would be a very, very tricky question to even answer to, because you just don't know, because the pandemic has to either stop or it has to get worse. It's just kept us all hanging in there. Na बढ़ रहा है ना कम हो रहा है, but कम होता है तो वापस बढ़ रहा है. There's it's not definite. So and the entire market, like the shipping, the retail segment, the garment industry is hit so badly. I don't even know where to start. I mean, just look at it. How many of us are buying clothes, and why would you buy clothes? You don't have places to go. Everything is under lockdown. So yeah, so it has to play hand in hand. All these elements have to fall in place together for things to happen. But having said that, in the meanwhile, nobody is stopping an entrepreneur from sitting there and thinking of new ways and ideas to develop new products till the time the market catches up or opens out.
So yeah, thanks a lot. अपन जो डिफरेंस था काफी क्लियर हुआ है. आई गेस जो सुनेंगे उनको भी उनका एक माइंडसेट जो है, जो क्लीशे माइंडसेट है बहुत लोगों का, वो क्लियर होगा, इससे चेंज होगा. हम लोग और उसको वर्क करेंगे. Thanks a lot for the information.
Brilliant. It's a pleasure.
We're lucky to have you today.
Thank you, Hriday.